I'm Joseph O'Connor, and this is my new novel, Shadowplay. And I would say that it is a story of love and sexuality, creativity, and transgressiveness, I suppose, people living outside the received norms. And it's based on the real life story of Bram Stoker, the author of Dracula, who for most of his life had two very intense, ardent friendships with two great Shakespearean actors of his day, Sir Henry Irving and Ellen Terry. So the book takes as its starting point a period of 6 or 7 years when they were working together in the Lyceum Theatre in London, and just the remarkable atmosphere of ferment created by these three people working together, out of which I think the great novel Dracula comes. I'm here in Waterstones, a beautiful bookshop on Piccadilly, a street and a part of London that Bram Stoker knew well, a street that features a lot in my novel Shadowplay. And I just wanted to tell you about three of the books that influenced my novel. So one of them is Stoker's masterpiece, Dracula, 1897, never been out of print, a book of shadows and chiaroscuro and ambiguity and very interesting sexuality, a book of really striking modernity in terms of how it's told. It's a wonderful range of registers. It's told in letters and transcripts, and of course it does a really radical thing of bringing the figure of the vampire out of medieval literature and into the heart of modern London. So this is a world where Dracula's living in a derelict townhouse on Piccadilly. He could be walking past you in Leicester Square. He could be sitting beside you on the tram. And it's one of the reasons for the book's perennial power, is just the very striking sense of the modern that Bram Stoker brings to it. So I'm now in the historical fiction section of Waterstones on Piccadilly. And I suppose every writer, every reader has their totemic books, the books where a key really turned, a light came on. And in my case, one of those books was Oscar and Lucinda by the Australian writer Peter Carey. I remember reading this as a young writer and just being so enthralled by Carey's ambition, the capaciousness of the book, the sense that literature can encompass everything. I hadn't read anything like that by a living author. It was some spirit of the Dickensian allied to a modern sense of psychological realism and what the novel can do. It's a hugely important book to me. I reread it every 3 or 4 years. I always see something new in it, and it's just a marvellously achieved, very complete work of literary storytelling. I had an interesting moment in my own writing life 14 or 16 years ago when I realized that I had been missing a trick in my writing, and that language can do things other than just tell a story or describe the complexities of a character. That language can be musical and lyrical in and of itself, and the writer who revealed that to me was the great Toni Morrison in this book, Jazz, which is so full of lyricism and emotion, and really has a very vivid living sense of what's going on between the words. And ever since I've read Toni Morrison, trying to find the music of a book has become a very important part of the construction of a book for me. So before I even set out really on the writing of Shadowplay, I asked myself what it would sound like, what the music of the novel would be like, and I owe that insight to my reading of Toni Morrison, particularly Jazz.